So before I start, I would like to give my thanks to organizers for giving me the opportunity to give this talk, and also for organizing this meeting for us that is really going very well. So my congratulations. I will speak about astronomy for development, which is a very broad topic. And in these 15 minutes, I will focus actually on Africa, and in particular on the work that we are doing in Ethiopia, using it as an example. So basically, over the past more than 15 years of my work in Africa in different countries, this is possibly one of the most common questions that I was getting. So why African countries should invest in astronomy and space science development, taking into account many difficulties that many countries are facing. And very often this question is also coming from our very close colleagues from our field. So I think in order to answer that, we really should go to deeper rethinking about what humanitarian international aid and action was, is, and we want it to be in future, shifting possibly from what the humanitarian aid was over the past few decades toward the more sustainable and long-term plan on how we really can fight poverty. And in that aspect, it is a must that we really focus on the development of education, science, technology, innovation, in addition to the industrial development, having manufacturing that is done in Africa, and then including the broader community. With this, I would also like to add that fighting poverty on the long term is not really only the issue of the poor countries, but it's a task for basically all of us in the globalized world in which we are living nowadays. We know very well that our activities here are affecting directly people that are living very far away, and the opposite. And therefore, I really truly believe that all of us, in one way or another, do shape the future of our planet, and we can really contribute to making this world a better place. So after this, I could say that astronomy, space science really shown to be an important tool for development. Here I listed some of the examples, like using astronomy to promote education, to inspire and to promote science. So we have the example of South Africa, where the government fully recognized the astronomy as a tool for the economical growth. We know that with astrophysics, we are really bringing constantly amazing technological developments and innovation. We can promote peace through the international collaborations and long-term projects. And I would say that astronomy, possibly more than many other sciences, goes to the larger scales in that aspect, taking into account the long-term collaborations, and we have SKA as an example. And then also in terms of the space science, we know fully that basically our daily life nowadays depend on the space exploration. So, and in future it will be even more. So if all of this is true, then why we really cannot use astronomy and space science for the development in Africa, if it has been used already in many other parts of the world, especially taking into account that in African countries, we still have dark skies as natural resources. So if in other parts of the world we use the dark skies for developing astronomical sites, and the countries benefited out of that, so why not in Africa we can do the same. So this is also the vision, I would say, on the continental level. African Union in 2015 developed the post-development agenda, putting as a pillar to science, technology, innovation, recognizing the use of space and geospatial technologies. That led to the establishment of the African Space Agency, and also development of the space strategy, where again it's been recognized the importance of space science and astronomy for achieving the sustainable development goals. In the same line, last year, we re-established African Astronomical Society with the same idea to use astronomy for the development of the continent in general. And now, under the two committees that we have at AFAS, we are actually working on the development of the strategy, how to really develop the astronomy in the coming years. Many progresses have been done over the past years. This is just a brief summary on some of the infrastructure in astronomy that we currently have on the continent, then in the space science as well. We published the summary on the status in 2018. And now I will focus a bit more on the work that we are doing in Ethiopia, as I said, using it a bit as an example. And in Ethiopia, Ethiopian Space Science and Technology Institute has been established 4 years ago, and we basically started from zero. That's when I actually joined the institute, and as I said, we basically started from zero with everything, with institutional development, human capacity building, science development in our field, and so on. And the Institute really has a vision that we explore the universe for the benefit of our people, and that using space science technology, including astronomy, we can improve some of the main challenges that Ethiopia is facing. So under Astronomy and Astrophysics Department, I will now go a bit through different activities that we are doing, connecting them with some of the main outcomes that on the long term we believe can lead to the achievement or to contribute to the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals. So the first one is the postgraduate program that we are having, where now for the very first time we are training, we are forming the first master PhD students in astronomy. All of them are attached already to some of the public universities, which means that after they finish, they will go back, they will continue teaching hundreds of students. And in that way, we can really see that on the long term, we are improving the level of education in Ethiopia and then in Africa as well, because we have a close collaboration also with Rwanda, Uganda, Tanzania, and South Africa. And in that way, we can also directly contribute to the fourth Sustainable Development Goal, that is quality education. Human capacity building has been one of our principal activities since the Institute was established, focused on not only students, but also our young staff members, that basically 90% of our staff members are people that just finished their undergrad degree, and they need still a lot of training. And again, in that way, we can, on the long term, improving their skills really benefit to the social and economical growth of the country. Research is another important activity. We currently have 3 research groups, and we were able to get the first publications over the last few years. Start with the astronomy research development in the country, strengthen the international collaborations. That is again very much important. Due to the research, we were able to start organizing different meetings, conferences that again gave a visibility to the science and astronomy in Ethiopia, contributed to human capacity building, institutional development, and so on. And then regarding the institutional development, huge work had to be done, and we are still working on it, as I said, starting from zero, with establishment of the departments, all the structure, creation of the committees, and so on. So all of this actually leads to at least direct contribution to these 6 SDGs that I mentioned here, and then indirect to several others. So these are some of the examples of the meetings that have been organized. I will highlight the IU Symposium last year, and would like to use this opportunity to publicly give my thanks to SEA for helping us financially to support some of the activities. And with this symposium, that was just the 3rd symposium organized in Africa over the past 100 years, and the first one for East Africa, we really saw how we can, with one event like this, how we can really contribute not only to the young astronomy community in the country, but also to the broader community through the outreach activities that we organize, teachers training, training for the young researchers, and so on. And Toto Observatory Lalibela site testing is another part of the activities, and putting the two telescopes functional was really a task over the past few years, and we are still with that. Ethiopia has really a dream to establish even a bigger telescope in the future.
2 minutillos.
Thank you. And the site testing is now going on. So through this, we can really contribute to the technological development, infrastructure development. Policy framework was another point with the first space policy and the roadmap that we've been working on, that is really involving the political engagement for developing science in the country for the next 30 years. In the past 10 years, I really saw that astronomy is an amazingly powerful tool for teaching the teachers. Teaching the teachers not only astronomy and science, but also how they can teach science using more practical approach. And here I would like to really highlight the work of Rosa Maria Ros in NASE and Rosa Doran in Galileo Teachers Training. And also, as we know, astronomy can be used very efficiently for education, outreach, public awareness. And in Ethiopia and in Africa in general, we are really clearly see that. So we had plenty of activities related with the school visits and Toto visits, the Astrobus that was reaching the most remote areas. And also we can use it very strongly for empowering and inspiring girls to do more science. Here I just mentioned some of the initiatives that we are involved and working on them. And also I will finalizing one of the important I think lessons for me was from the last 2 years of the work in Ethiopia. To see how using astronomy and space science in the countries like Ethiopia, where we constantly have the very severe crises, it can serve as a source of hope, as a source of inspiration and motivation, not only for the young generations, but for the nation in general. And I think that's also one of the very important points. These are some of the initiatives on the continental level that are actually increasing, and I will not have time to go through all of them, but we'll just mention the one related with Spanish East African collaborations that I hope we will be able to put in action in the coming few weeks in collaboration with SEA, and this is in collaboration with Sandra, with the Spanish European Road Coordinator. And just to remind you that in 2024, the very first assembly of the IAU in Africa will be organized, and I think this will be really an excellent moment to really show how much with the astronomy we can contribute in many different aspects to the development of the society. So thank you very much.
Muy bien, Mirjana. Mirjana, te voy a pedir que desconectes la presentación porque hay problemas de conexión y pongas tu cámara si quieres. Ahí estás, muy bien. Bueno, mientras tenemos nada, un minutito para preguntas y mientras alguien escribe, preguntarte ¿cómo crees de importante que es la instalación, hablo de África en general, ¿vale? No de Etiopía, la instalación de grandes infraestructuras astronómicas, como pueda ser SCA, en África a la hora precisamente de que la astronomía sea un motor social, no solamente científico, sino social en África?
Sí, pues increíblemente importante. De hecho, sorry, I'm speaking in Spanish.
Sorry,
so it's extremely important, all the infrastructure development, and we can actually see directly the direct effects of it over the past 10 years. Since the SKA has been, well, due to first all the development of the astronomy in South Africa, I would say, and then many other projects like in Morocco, like in Namibia, we could really see that let's say, all the awareness of the importance of astronomy has been increasing on the continent, and then definitely with the SKA approval, and then direct implication of 8 African countries in the project really brought a lot of awareness. So I would say that the infrastructure is very important in all aspects, in terms of the technological development, of course, scientific development, international collaborations, in terms of the education, outreach, in stimulating really the young generation, giving them the optimism. And then, as I said, I think it's a very important point also for showing the another example. Every time that we are listening about Africa, we normally have the negative news where everything is focused on humanitarian crises, conflicts, epidemics, and so on. And very rarely we will hear about amazing work that also our colleagues are doing, putting a lot of efforts in like trying to improve their education, working on the science and so on. So these kind of international projects and infrastructure development are extremely important in that aspect as well, for visibilizing the continent.
Ok, te pido muy rápida la última pregunta. Martín Pauli pregunta de qué manera las asociaciones de astronomía amateur pueden ayudar al desarrollo de la astronomía en África.
There are always many possibilities to collaborate and to help. There are also amateur astronomy organizations in Africa across the continent, so that is one of the possibilities to get in contact and create the network. Currently, under the African Astronomical Society, there is an initiative to make a survey and map all the amateur societies for exactly bringing the network. So I think that will facilitate then the interaction with the international community. And then I think in terms of the amateur astronomy, people can have really very important role in what is the outreach, the public awareness, helping us with education, promoting science in the primary, secondary schools, and everything actually starts from that. We cannot speak about developing science on the long term if we really don't work with from the very first generations, from the primary, secondary school. So I would say that in that aspect, it's really, really important. Then giving in general the visibility, to the astronomy development as well. These are some of the points.
Muy bien, pues muchísimas gracias, Mirjana.